Man and happiness. True happiness is to enjoy present without anxious dependence upon the future. Not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing. The great blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is to content with his lot, whatever it be, without wishing for what we has not.
Happiness is man's ultimate goal. Its attainment and realization is man's supreme purpose and his right perfection. To be happy is man's most fundamental need. In fact, part of our effort to be happy is to study our own beings and identities and to strive hard to attain success. Man's happiness lies within himself. The key to it is the exercise of reason. A good and happy life is one that is lived in accordance with the dictates of reason. Happiness is the result of moral and upright living governed by reason.
There are some theories of happiness. First, the hedonism. This is an ethical system that, in general, affirms pleasure as the chief good in life. Hedonism is either egoistic or altruistic. In egoistic hedonism, man seeks pleasure for his own personal good. The concept of morality is reduced to a mere pleasure-pain basis. In altruistic hedonism, man desires pleasure not for his own interest, but for the common good or for well-being and welfare of the greatest number of people. Means, in egoistic, sinasabi dito that man behaves selfishly and thinks they are more important than other people. While in altruistic naman, sinasabi dito na magiging masaya ang isang tao kung siya ay makakatulong at makakagawa ng maganda sa ibang tao. Second theory is the cynic ideal. This principle enunciates that the highest good is in the simple enjoyment of happiness. Virtue is the only good and that its essence lies in self-control and independence. Sinasabi dito na ang pagiging mabait ay ang pagiging masaya at ang virtue ay ang paggawa ng mabuti at iwasan ang pagiging masama.
The third one is Stoicism. Stoicism asserts that happiness comes from morality, which is the highest good. There is indifference to pleasure or pain. Ang ibig sabihin ng Stoicism, sinasabi dito na ang kaligayahan ay kung alam ng isang tao ang kanyang ginagawa ay tama o mali. The next one is the theistic. The theistic is the theory is generally considered as the Christian ideal. It declares that God is man's ultimate end and highest good. Ang sinasabi dito na relation with God is his or her happiness. Ang pagtulong sa kapwa na pinapakita mo rin ay ang pagmamahal sa Diyos.
The fifth one, idealism. This is a theory that believes that the supreme created good is the most perfect world. That is where men are happy and desire to be happy. The essential nature of reality lies in consciousness or reason, forming ideals and living under their influence. Sinasabi dito na ang pinakamataas na nilikha ng kabutihan ay pinaka-perpekto sa mundo kung saan ang tao ay masaya at gustong sumaya. Next, self-realization. The end of every moral act is self-actualization. This connotes fulfillment and actualization of what we ought to be. Sa bawat pagtatapos ng isang bagay na ginawa, ay may kaakibat na pag-realize kung tama o mali ang iyong ginawa.
Next is libido. This is the cornerstone of the prevalence regarding happiness. There is no absolute norm, but every man must find out for himself how he can be happiest in this world. Libido pertains to the emotional or psychic energy derived from primitive biological urges and sexual drives. Sinasabi dito na walang basihan ng pagiging masaya ng isang tao, na siya ang gagawa ng paraan para maging masaya. The last one is authentic existence. Existence defined as living in the present, being present to oneself as against people who live only in memory or in hope. Ideally, this is living in the here and now, na ang kaligayahan ng tao ay ang kanyang ginagawa sa pang-araw-araw, na you should live your life on what is present, at dapat mo nang kalimutan ang mga nakaraan na nagpumipigil sa iyo para maging masaya. According to Aristotle, ang kaligayahan ng dahilan kung bakit ka nabubuhay. Man achieves happiness if he acts toward the nourishment of the self. To be happy, man must learn moderation or the avoidance of excessive desires. Man must set his goals within reasonable limits. Aristotle acknowledged the dominance of reason even in the effort to be happy. Total happiness, though, is the total development of the whole man. His reason, his physical and emotional characteristics. Sabi dito, para maging masaya ka, dapat mong tandaan na may limitasyon din ito. Hindi ka dapat mag-assume ng mga bagay na pwedeng mangyari dahil dito magsisimula ang disappointment or being sad kung hindi mangyari ang gusto mo.
St. Augustine said that anyone who desires and uses evil means will be miserable even if he finds what he wants. He who has God is happy. St. Augustine also indicated that happiness can't be bought. For St. Augustine, sinasabi niya na ang paggawa ng masama ay nagiging miserable ang buhay ng isang tao, kahit masaya siya dito. At hindi niya nalalaman na kay God natin matatagpuan ng kaligayahan. And also, St. Augustine said that happiness can't be bought. It is true. Kasi hindi naman talaga nabibili ang kaligayahan. Oo, may mga taong masaya kapag may pera, pero hindi tayo mapapasaya ng dahil sa pera.
According to Confucius, happiness is an oriental state. Selfishness hinders the attainment of happiness. We will find no true happiness if we remain subjects to our selfish motives and sexual desires. To be happy, we will conquer or overcome these earthly and temporal longings. Sinasabi dito na hindi daw mo pupulpil ang happiness kung paiiralin ng pagiging selfish mo. Kung kaya, ang mga bagay na nakapusay sa iyo ay hindi makakasakit na ibang tao.
St. Thomas confirms that happiness can also be attained in this world through the cultivation and development of rational, moral, social, emotional, and physical attributes. Supreme happiness, however, can also be attained beyond this life. Owing to the immortality of the soul, we will find perfect happiness in God alone. Sinasabi dito na ang pinakamataas na kalidad ng kasiyahan ng tao ay makakamtan sa ating buhay.